Good morning and happy Thursday, Northstate. Chief Meteorologist Preston Donion here, walking you through what you need to know as we head towards the weekend. Yesterday's big story was the remnants of Tropical Storm Elida rolling through, bringing some weird conditions in two different ways. Colin posted the tale of two different cities, right? We had Eureka going way above normal with some warm, muggy tropical air showing up and 70s all up and down the Humboldt coast. Throughout the valley, that south breeze was coming onshore from the Delta, the Bay Area, and that kept us a lot cooler than normal. Easily the coolest day of the month in a place like Redding, almost 10 degrees below where we're supposed to be this time of year. So it was a weird setup yesterday. We're getting back towards normal right now, and normal around here in the summer does include some fire danger. And that fire danger is still driven by the remnants of Tropical Storm Elida, but we don't have the mugginess anymore. We're back to our own warm, dry, usual selves, and that really shows up with some wind once we hit your Friday and Saturday. So when you look at this orange area on the map over most of Siskiyou County, Modoc, and eastern Lassen counties, that is a fire weather watch as of right now. I'm recording this about 8:30 here on your Thursday morning. I fully expect that by this afternoon that will have been elevated to a red flag warning. Now this is in effect from 1 p.m. on Friday through 9 p.m. on Saturday, so likely red flag conditions all the way through your Friday and Saturday afternoons. Really important to be especially careful with what you do out there when we navigate these warm, dry, windy conditions. Let's talk about the wind first, right? We head into the afternoon today. Things get a little bit breezy out there. You still got that south flow in the valley kind of funneling up into the mountains. We've got a light onshore breeze along the north coast, and then that westerly wind or southwesterly wind in the northeast corner of the state is another area where we're watching for that fire danger. Even today, warm, dry, windy. Not quite to that red flag level, but we are likely going to get there into tomorrow. And the reason why this is still just a fire weather watch at this point is that we're too far out. Usually the National Weather Service makes that elevation warning level from that fire weather watch to a red flag warning here about 12 to 24 hours out. So that's why I think this afternoon you will see that concern elevate for your Friday, where things start out calm, right? The morning hours are good. You can get outside, you can do what you need to do. But as we head into the afternoon tomorrow, we see those wind gusts 25 plus miles an hour, still strong into the evening in those warmest hours of the day. So you really have to be smart about what you do outside as we head through your Friday, and we'll do it all over again on Saturday. Look at those winds, 20 plus miles an hour, surging towards 30 miles an hour in portions of Modoc and Lassen counties on Saturday afternoon underneath blazing sunshine, dry conditions. Overall, not a great combo. So that is the wind. Let's take a look at how dry it gets out there. Even this afternoon and evening, we are seeing that relative humidity around 10% in portions of Modoc and Lassen counties, and down into the teens really almost all throughout the valley. So everyone needs to be fire smart. This is the 8-year anniversary of the Carr Fire near Redding that brought devastating impacts to communities across Shasta County. We really need to be smart about what we do to prevent fires here on this day, just knowing the history of July 23rd. As we head into your Friday, right, this is when we start getting concerned about that fire weather in the northeast corner of the state, and there you go, 10% humidity in Alturas, so the fuels are primed, right? The grassy landscapes are really ready to ignite, so any new sparks that start out there are going to lead to quick fire spread, and the winds are going to contribute to that rapid growth of those fires as well. So those are our concerns. Dry, windy, all of that combining, and even today, before we get to that red flag level, we have elevated fire danger in the northeast corner of the state, including places like McLeod, Alturas, Bernie, Fall River Mills, and Susanville, and tomorrow that concern elevates a little further. We have a critical fire danger showing up in red there for much of Modoc and portions of Lassen counties, and you still have that elevated danger kind of across the northeast corner of the state as a whole. But critical fire danger for Friday. Don't do stupid things, as I love to tell you as we get into this time of year. Now, you can see those remnants still hanging out over the ocean, right? That's responsible for that moisture there, as well as up into the Pacific Northwest. We are going to watch for clear skies across California this afternoon. Thunderstorm activity is out of the picture, right? That's going to stay in Washington and Oregon. We're concerned about new fire starts out there. You've got that monsoonal moisture really showing up across the Four Corners region and north into Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, but no longer really showing up here. We head into your Friday and it's a similar story, right? Lots of sunshine locally, even along the north coast in some peaks here and there for the afternoon, but throughout the valley and the mountains, it is sunshine without the thunderstorm threat. So at least we get rid of that as we bring in those gusty winds. You can see why those winds are going to be gusty out there on Saturday, right? We get this counterclockwise rotation around the low. At this point, the low is going to be somewhere up here closer to Vancouver Island. So things are rotating around like this, and boom, that southwesterly flow in our northeastern corner of the state is really going to contribute to that fire danger in dry areas underneath warm, sunny conditions. But notice, we're really talking about sunshine as the story. Even along the north coast, some good peaks at blue sky showing up out on Saturday and Sunday especially, and carrying over into next week, we should be able to keep most of that heavy, long, lingering, stubborn marine layer at bay, at least for a couple days as the week gets going. But you notice that thunderstorms aren't showing up even as we roll all the way to next weekend. Your 10-day forecast quiet when it comes to rain, so get excited about that. Tons of sunshine, that summer feeling into August, absolutely on the menu. 65 in Neyland today, 94 in Willow Creek and Alder Point. You're looking at about 87 in Garberville, 81 in Gasky, and 91 in Orleans. 65 for Crescent City, 64 in McKinleyville, and 63 in Eureka. We're going to hang out right around that level, maybe a tiny bit cooler as we head into early next week with some more cloud cover, but you're seeing plenty of sunshine mixed in and maybe a warm up even along the coast once we hit Wednesday, Thursday of next week. You'll really notice that on the right side of your screen in these 10-day forecasts that we are watching for a pretty good little warm up towards next weekend into the early goings of the new month. But here for the rest of July, largely speaking, very comfortable conditions. You're looking at, 93, 94 all the way through Tuesday before we start flirting with those triple digits across interior Humboldt and Delaware counties. And in Trinity County, it's a similar blueprint for the week ahead. These low to mid 90s that you're seeing out there today are going to continue onward towards the weekend and into early next week. And over the eastern mountains, why not? How about those mid to upper 80s? Maybe a few spots like Alturas sneaking into the low 90s, most of these days, but that's not bad. That's pretty close to normal out there. Your normal high in Alturas right now is 91, so 93, we can live with that. 85 in Bernie, 84 in Shingletown, spectacular mountain weather. In the valley, also pretty spectacular here on Thursday. You get 97 in Redding and Anderson, 96 in Red Bluff, and those are about 3 or 4 degrees below normal, respectively. So pretty good setup. We'll take what we can get. 96 in the city of Shasta Lake, 92 in Lakehead, and we're still not seeing triple digits as we head south. That south breeze still out there, not as strong as yesterday, but still at play and keeping places like Willows closer to 90, while we look for about 92 in Orland, 94 in Oroville, 95 in Chico and Corning. In Chico, look for those temperatures to hang out in the mid to upper 90s through Tuesday, holding off that triple digit potential until your Wednesday, and then we run well above that into the extended. Look at Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, that's a little hot there in Butte County, and in Redding, even a little hotter once we get to that time frame, once we start talking about that first weekend of August. But here in July, we're hanging out right around 100 or just shy of it through your Tuesday, and then just starting to warm up by midweek. So lots to enjoy in the short term. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. We'll be back with that 100-degree Friday real soon.